Hi guys, it's Saturday afternoon where I am, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Today I'm coming in quickly to talk about why seeking for attention and validation may significantly affect your growth. Most of the time we want other people to validate our feelings. We want other people to validate us. We don't even realize that our feelings are already valid within ourselves. And when we begin to seek for attention, affection, and validation, we sometimes end up becoming disappointed. And when we get disappointed, we get lost in our own world again, sit with the feelings of every other person's opinion that may not necessarily be facts that you need to validate whatever it is you're looking to validate. And in so doing, you end up hurting yourself more than healing from whatever it is that you need to heal from. Feelings are always valid. For you to feel whatever it is that you're feeling, it's part of you engaging with that feeling and saying, what is this teaching me about myself? Our feelings allow us to experience something that we haven't had an idea about or know about. And it's all about self-discovery. We're all about the self-discovery journey. We're all about learning about ourselves. We're all about learning about our growth. And so when you have a feeling that you're looking for someone to validate, you're saying, I don't yet trust myself enough with what I'm feeling. And until I have somebody validate that, then I may not feel good with myself. And that does reveal a lot. If you take a good look at it, that does reveal a lot about where you are with yourself. Trusting other people to validate you without trusting yourself is evidence that you do not believe in who you are yet. And you don't know who you are yet. And so every time you're looking for someone to validate that, you're saying, I don't yet believe in what I'm feeling, and other people would have to help me believe in it. But they cannot feel what you're feeling. They cannot experience what you're experiencing. The experiences may be similar, but it is always never the same. Let me say that again. The experiences may be similar, but they're always never the same. And as long as you're the one feeling the feeling, you have to sit with the feeling and examine it. What is it that I'm feeling? What is this feeling bringing to my awareness that I may not have a clue about yet? What is this feeling teaching me about myself? And as long as I'm allowing myself, hi Kunle, I see you. Thanks so much for joining as usual. And as long as I'm allowing myself to experience the feeling, then I may connect with a part of me that I'm not consciously aware of yet. And as long as I'm connecting with a part of me that I'm not consciously aware of yet, then I'm going to learn something about myself. Usually we're not able to accept the feeling as valid because we're so disconnected from ourselves. And when you're disconnected from yourself, you will be looking to everybody to help you find the connection back. But the connection belongs to you. And what you tend to do when you seek for the connection outside of who you are is to say that when they validate me, then I believe that I'm valid. When they validate my feeling, then I believe that the feeling is valid. The major reason why we do not believe in whatever we feel is because there is pain and trauma that we are yet to discover, that we have buried and we have put a lid on and say to ourselves, I don't want to deal with this. But prior to dealing with this, you're going to just keep going around in circles. You're going to walk away from yourself. You're going to self-sabotage. You're going to leave yourself behind. You're going to give your power away. You're going to lose your voice in the process. But you always have to come back to you at the end of the day. And all the pain that you acquire in the process of trying to validate yourself sometimes will leave you invalidated. Let me say that again. Sometimes when you're seeking for the attention and the validation, you sometimes come back with invalidation. This is how invalidation looks when you're not consciously aware of who you are and you're seeking for validation. You express something to someone. Oh, I really don't know what's going on, and I'm just in this hole. And they say to you, it is well. They did not validate you. They actually invalidated you. It is well, go sort it out. I don't have a solution for you. And if you begin to see how that plays out, you will begin to understand that the people you're connecting to are also in a place of pain and trauma, and they don't even understand what you're going through in that moment. They can't feel it like you're feeling it. They can't experience it like you're experiencing it. And so the more you keep seeking, the more you keep connecting to more pain, the more you come back with more. They validate your ego, but they don't validate you. Let me say that again. They validate your ego and suit your ego, but they don't validate you. That is point number 2. Number 1 is that they sometimes will invalidate you. Number 2 is they will validate your ego, but not exactly what you're feeling. Because in the moment that you're feeling that, Kunle says, great point. In the moment that you're feeling that, what you discover is you get excited. But what are you really excited about? What you're dealing with internally that nobody else understands but you? Or what they're getting you excited about? And you have to really begin to look at those. And that's the goal of having someone who is neutral to help you see from a different perspective. This is what coaching does to you, to help you open your eyes of understanding and ask yourself those provoking questions during sessions that help you see. Your feelings are always valid as long as you feel them. Let me type that out. Your feelings are always valid as long as you feel them. Nobody else can feel that thing you're feeling but you. Let me repeat that. Your feelings, if I can type today, your feelings are always valid as long as you feel them. And nobody else can experience what you feel but you. And as long as you allow yourself to feel it, and you, like I shared with you yesterday, as long as you allow yourself to go into that place of silence, then get into the environment of chaos, you will be able to sit with the feeling and allow that feeling to teach you what you don't know about yourself yet. When you seek for validation and affection or acceptance of your feeling and you don't get it from other people, what you're left with is disappointment. And the only person you're disappointed with is yourself, nobody else. They don't know what you're feeling. They are not the one experiencing the feeling. They cannot help you feel what they cannot feel within themselves. So you're the one who has to go back to that place and sit with the feelings. Understand that people's opinions are not always facts about who you are. Let me say that again. People's opinions are not always facts about who you are. They are not always the fact that your feeling is already valid. And until you know that your feeling is valid, every experience you go through is valid because it's all about you gaining the conscious awareness of who you are so that you can grow to become a higher level of self. And if you're not growing and learning from each experience and what you're feeling and uncovering the feeling, then guess what? You're going to be stagnant. And when you're stagnant, nothing grows there. You can't emerge. And the only thing you would hear in that point is your ego trying to defend you and trying to make you feel that you know it all, when you actually need to get help to uncover it. And so you have to understand that in that moment is when you need to humble yourself to be able to receive, so that as you receive, you can embrace and validate yourself and then make a shift in your journey to a higher level of self. Because when you uncover, you're also going to recover from whatever it is that hurt you. Let me say that again. When you uncover what you are yet to discover about yourself, when you uncover what you're yet to discover about yourself, you're going to recover in whatever pain or trauma that exists, and you heal from that, and then you move forward to a higher level of who you are. I'm going to say that one more time so that you can get it. When you uncover what you are yet to know about yourself, you recover and heal from the pain, because at the time the pain occurred, you weren't consciously aware of what you now know, and that is what is going to allow you to emerge and grow from where you are to where you need to be at. Life is simple. We always complicate it. But until you're willing to embrace the process and trust the process and understand that the way the process works for you is not the way the process is going to work for me, and you understand that when you compare yourself with other people or seek for them to validate and accept you as who you are, you will not get it. Because comparison is a destroyer of who you are. Let me say that again. Comparison is a destroyer of who you are. You're unique. No one is like you. You may have similar experiences. You may have everything that looks alike. But whatever you experience and feel within yourself, nobody else can feel it and experience it like you will. Let me say that again. Whatever it is that you feel and experience is what belongs to your life alone. Exact same thing that you feel and experience, nobody else will experience it like you do. So when you're seeking for validation and acceptance, you're saying, I'm going to allow other people's opinions that are not facts about what I'm feeling, shift my perspective about what I'm feeling, and invalidate what I'm feeling. Let me say that once again, because I really want this to begin to resonate with you. Every time you seek for validation and acceptance and you don't get it, or you even get it, you're saying, invalidate what I'm feeling that is already valid about myself, and help me feel comfortable with my ego and stay in this place of comfort than allow myself to emerge. Because your feelings are always valid. You don't feel they're valid because you may be in a place of pain or trauma that you haven't yet uncovered. And people come into our lives to help us uncover these things. So when we experience a breakup, when we experience a divorce, when we experience a loss, when we experience the loss of a job, or when we go through life's motions, it is time to uncover something we are yet to discover about ourselves. But if you're not discovering, you will find yourself repeating patterns and just going 360 direction, and nothing is changing. If I challenge you with a question now, I want you to really reflect on that question. Think about where you are in 2017 or 2018. Look at where you are now. What has changed? What has changed for you? And I'm asking this question because I want you to be true to yourself. Don't try and look for the feel-good moments. I want you to look at the be good moments to yourself. How you're being good to yourself. What has changed about where you are now from where you were in 2018? And don't give me I bought new clothes and I upgraded my closet. That is not about where you are with yourself. I'm talking about your personal development and growth. Thank you, Kunle. About your personal development and growth. We marinate our ego, but we leave ourselves behind in most cases, and then people come and validate our ego without validating us, and we begin to feel good and not be good. Because if you're being good in the moment when you're validated, and there are facts in what you're being validated as, you will pivot. You will make a shift in your life. You will progress, and you will leave people behind. Acceptance and validation will sometimes make you invalidated. Acceptance and validation will sometimes make you invalidated. They only marinate your ego. They don't validate the facts that your feelings and emotions are valid. You have a right to feel what you feel in the moment. And your feeling may be based on the buried pain and trauma when you were experiencing the feeling. But the goal is to uncover what you're feeling and not sit with the feeling for so long. Because when you're sitting with the feeling, you're allowing yourself to say, you know what? I'm going to continue to bury the pain and trauma that I've experienced, and I am not going to learn from each one. And I'm going to say to myself, I don't want to grow. I'm going to self-sabotage. I'm going to self-abuse. I'm going to self-loathe, and I'm going to stay in a place where I don't belong. And that is the cage we create for ourselves. It is time to know that everything that you're feeling within is valid. But it is also time to learn that whatever it is that you're feeling, you need to grow from it. If you cannot have help uncovering it, I invite you to come in and join the Purposeful Relationship Circle. It is an exclusive membership where we are learning to heal, where we are learning to uncover our truth, where we are learning to embrace our truth, where we're learning to become accountable for our own lives and stop playing boys and girls in life. It is time to man up and woman up. No one will do it if you're not doing it. If I didn't do it to myself 10 years ago, I wouldn't be here sharing with you. I played house with myself for 15 years. I played house. I didn't want to deal with my internal wounds and trauma. I had been raped at the age of 17. I never spoke about it. So I was looking for Prince Charming, playing, Cinderella story, creating fantasies and illusions and trying to find someone who was going to rescue me, then heal me. And nobody can truly heal us until we heal ourselves. And I had to stop seeking for validation and acceptance. And I had to accept that that was my truth. That truth was part of my journey. That truth allowed me to see that I did not love myself enough. That truth allowed me to see that I was my own stumbling block sometimes. That truth allowed me to see that my feelings about everything I had experienced was valid. That truth allowed me to see that what I needed was to heal from the trauma and learn so much from those experiences so that I stopped repeating patterns and cycles and projecting my pain on other people and blaming them for what happened to me. We all play a part in what happened to us, but we should not sit down and whine and dwell on it, because every single day we're granted is an opportunity to heal from it and move from it and get into a better place and a higher level of self. But if you're not getting there, then you have to look at yourself and saying, who is holding me from getting to where I need to be? It's the acceptance and validation I'm seeking constantly validating me, because if it is, then I will stop seeking for acceptance and validation every moment I experience something. Did you catch that last part? When the acceptance and validation you're seeking truly validates you, you will not seek for it anymore. But if you keep seeking for it every time, then it means you're not validated. You're actually invalidated. And it is time to wake up to that reality and say, you know what? I'm tired of feeling good because feelings expire. I am tired of waiting for someone to make me who I'm not. I need to work on who I am and discover who I am and sit with my feelings and understand that my feelings are valid in the moment that I felt them, and I don't need to drag them along anymore. I just need to learn from them so I can make a pivot, a shift in my mindset, a shift in my growth, a shift in my journey. But until I make that shift, nothing is going to shift. Until you make that shift, nothing is going to shift. And nobody's actually leaving you behind. You're leaving yourself behind. Let me say that last part. Nobody leaves us behind except we leave ourselves behind. That's why I shared my quote with you. Everybody grows, but not everybody becomes mature. You grow in age, which is just a number. But maturity is when you feed your soul and your mind, and they actually reflect the life of who you are as who you truly are. Not a mirage of who you are. Not the persona that you present, not the fantasy that you create, but who you truly are. And we have to come to the point where we are really facing our reality and our truth. It is time to grow up. Every day is an opportunity that we're granted to do so. But you have to ask yourself, do you really own time? Because every time you walk away, you're saying, I don't know my worth yet. So I don't need that. I don't value myself yet. So I don't need that. I'm not enough yet. So I don't need to be enough. I don't need to find myself yet. I can keep marinating my ego, but my ego will only leave me living in my shadow. Your ego would only leave you creating illusions and fantasies while you're living in your shadow and your true light is crying for help. And when you're living in your shadow, what you discover is you're going to attract people who are also living in their shadows. And when you get into that unhealthy relationship, the connection is always based on the pain that you share first. They come in and tell you the story of their pain. You go in and tell them the story of the pain, and you believe you have chemistry based on the pain. But what you're creating is trauma bonds from an unhealthy space. And those moments, your pain is being invalidated. You're not being validated. You're just being marinated. And when the marination goes on, you say to yourself, I think this is the one. But they are also seeking for validation and acceptance just like you are seeking. And so you're connecting on that notion, and you think it's going to be a healthy relationship. And then the conflicts begin to pop up when you're no longer getting the validation and acceptance that you originally got. And the relationship now becomes a place where you're devaluing each other. And all the hidden pain and trauma begin to come to the surface, and all the skeletons in the cupboard begin to fall out. And now you're back to square one. Seeking another person to validate you and accept you. But you haven't yet accepted yourself. You are yet to be emotionally available for yourself. You are yet to uncover the trauma and the pain that make you emotionally unavailable and make you think that somebody who is also emotionally available will solve the problem. We are who we attract and who we accept. And if we keep attracting people that make us feel good, but not allow us to be good, we will never accept the truth that will set us free. Freedom is what we're born with. Love is what we're born with. But when we keep seeking for validation and acceptance from people who do not feel what we're feeling, we're saying, I'm not even present in my life to feel what I'm feeling. So if somebody else can feel it on my behalf, then I will feel good with myself. But their opinions are never the facts about your life. And when the opinions stop coming, you begin to believe that you have haters, right? And you have to really look at these things. You know, these are things that we need to examine in our own space so that we can begin to live our truth and own our truth and become free to be who we were truly created to be. I'm not one of those coaches who will sugarcoat it and tell you romance is all you need when you haven't healed from the trauma and pain that keep you repeating cycles and patterns and not let you allow yourself to see that you're already validated and that everything you're feeling is already valid. I give it to you as it is so that you can really get with it and not sit in a stagnant place, but begin to emerge and grow from a boy or a girl to become a man and a woman that you were truly created to be, so that you can build healthy for yourself and attract the healthy love that you need in your own space. It is time to stop playing house and games. All those mind games don't help you understand who you are. They only make you lose yourselves further. And if you're not finding yourself in 2020, a year of vision, a year of clarity, a year of reflection and restitution and restoration, then when are you going to do it? We don't have all the time in life. We're not even guaranteed the next nanosecond. I can tell you that. I don't even know what's going to happen the next minute. I may have all these dreams, but they may never come to fruition because I don't have control of the time. I only have control of my now and what I do with it. And it's the same thing. You can't, if you have control over your feelings and you can tame your feelings and tame your emotions, then allow them to tame you and make you seek for validation and acceptance. It's all about finding yourself. It's all about knowing that you are enough. It's all about allowing yourself to gain the clarity that you need. It's all about finding you and becoming accountable and emotionally available in your own space. And this is what I do with people who join the Purposeful Relationship Circle. It's a 5-module circle where we look at everything from your pain and trauma to everything from your existing relationships or past relationships and see how your repeating patterns is helping you to uncover your truth. I've also had to work this journey. I tell you, it's a beautiful journey. I wouldn't have birthed 4 books, Love, Sex, Lives, and Reality, Being Single, Beyond the Pain, and On Becoming Restored, if I had not gone through this journey. I wouldn't be coaching other people if I had not gone through this journey. I wouldn't be speaking globally if I haven't gone through this journey. I wouldn't have found myself if I hadn't gone through this journey. And I wouldn't have the happy me that I know now. I would still be in that cage me that I knew back then. But I have so emerged. And I believe you can do the same thing. If I don't believe in you, I won't be here sharing it with you. We are all born as love and validated. And it's just for us to accept that fact. It is indeed a fact. It is not anybody's opinion. It's a fact about who you are. And until you accept that fact, you won't connect with the truth that you are. That's all I have. I have to meet with a client in 30 minutes. I just wanted to share that with you, to let you know you're already validated, to already know that you're already good enough, to already know that your feelings and your emotions are valid. You don't need anybody to validate them or invalidate them. You just have to accept them as your truth and part of your journey. Yes, the breakup may hurt, but you know what also hurts? The truth when we embrace it and allow it to set us free. Now run away from it and self-sabotage and self-hate and self-loathe and self-abuse while we stay silent. I've always shared with you, silence is the greatest form of self-abuse when you choose to walk away from yourself and not accept the facts that are in your life as they are and own the moment. There is a defining moment when you just have to accept what is and say, you know what? I quit trying to control what I cannot control. I let go. I release so that I can receive. If I'm not releasing, how do I expect myself to receive what I don't know about? If I keep looking for people to validate the feelings that I'm experiencing, that they are not experiencing the way that I'm experiencing it, how can they know about it when I don't believe it's valid? And so when they invalidate it and I come back and I'm disappointed, who am I truly disappointed with? Myself. You see how that works? Your feelings are valid. Your emotions are valid. And they're valid because they're here to teach you about what you don't yet know about yourself. It's a journey of self-discovery. And if you're not discovering yourself, who else will help you discover you? if you're not emerging to a higher level of yourself, then you're saying, I'm not ready to grow. I'm not ready to become emotionally available for myself. So I'm going to keep chasing and seeking and begging and pleading. And at the end of the day, I'm getting depleted. I'm getting lost further, and I'm not finding myself. It is time to find yourself. It's time to know that you're already enough and you're already validated by your maker. Every experience teaches us about things that we do not know about ourselves. And until you come to that fact and own that truth, then allow the societal norm, the trends to reshape you to be who you're not, you will not truly find and connect with your true self. It's all about growth, people. And the journey to finding yourself is beautiful. Yes, there will be moments where accepting the facts are painful, but accepting the facts as our truth is what literally liberates us and allows us to connect with the true self that we were really born as, and the love that we were really born as, and the happiness that lies within that we're yet to connect to, and the release of the pain and trauma that we've experienced from the past, from the childhood experiences that are now reshaping and realigning us in a negative manner than allowing us to connect to our true selves. Life is short. Don't complicate it. Know that your feelings are valid, your emotions are valid, but you have to learn about what they're teaching you about yourself, then allow them to master you. You master them so that you can evolve and emerge into a higher level of self at the end of the day. That's all I have. Again, feel free to connect with me. Feel free to join the I invite you personally to join the Purposeful Relationship Circle. Again, it's an exclusive monthly circle where we learn new things that help us emerge and find ourselves. You learn about your needs. You learn about setting standards. You learn about establishing your core values if you don't know them yet. They lead the quality of your life. You uncover every hidden pain and trauma that you've gone through. You learn about yourself and you emerge to become the beautiful you that was created. And you have to just work on yourself. No one can do the work if you're not doing the work. And it takes doing the work to really uncover who you are. So connect with me on that. You can find it on my website. You can find it on the store on my Facebook page. And you can connect with me personally if you want to get on a complimentary session to begin to figure things out. I will get on a free complimentary session with you and we can begin to uncover things that can help you begin to shift and understand that you are validated. You don't need anyone to validate you. And that's a fact. A fact that I want you to sit with and hold on to and think about and allow yourself to really understand it as we go through the weekend. I hope you all have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Never stop loving while living. When you stop loving, you stop living. And when you stop living, it means it's time to roll back to the maker. Remember, this year, a lot of people have been gone. They didn't have the opportunity to take advantage of it and learn about themselves. You still have that moment. Take advantage of it and live your life to the fullest while you still have the chance. You'll have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.